Well, hello, this is another little clippet of story that I'm going to read to you from my book, No Rain, No Flowers, which is part of the anthology of COVID-19, How It Made Us Feel. So this is the second half of the book, and like I say, my story is called No Rain, No Flowers, which I hope explains itself, but it's about the ups and downs that we went through, and this is just a part of it. Ready, Mum? Nathan asked as he swirled his car keys around his index finger. Getting into the car felt strange, as if we hadn't been driving for a year. There's no way my arms would have moved enough to drive myself because of the pain from the pleurisy. So as I fixed my sunglasses to dim the brightness of the gorgeous day, I was thankful to my son for driving me. We spoke in great length about the best ways for me to keep myself safe throughout this appointment, including not sitting inside the hospital any longer than necessary. We pulled outside the drop-off zone and waited. I wound my window down slightly as it was a warm day. The sun's rays were streaming into the car. We heard an announcement come over the tannoy right near the entrance doors, which normally opened automatically, but this day they were covered in signs saying, "Entrance closed, please use the main entrance." I didn't want to use the main entrance because you had to go through red and white striped cordoned off area and follow the path in, anti-back your hands and past many people. I was afraid. I had pneumonia. I didn't want to catch COVID-19 in the hospital. Listening to the tannoy, we heard it say, "Please do not enter. If you have symptoms of COVID-19, please go home and dial 111. And we looked at one another and pulled a shocked looking face. Not long after that, I saw some people going in and out of the door, and I figured I could probably do that as well. I had no intention to touch anything, no door handles, only the anti-bac on the walls, which turned out to be empty. Thankfully, I had my own in my handbag. I wasn't going to be within 2 meters of anybody, except when I was having my tests. My stomach was in knots, but this test was of paramount importance. It all felt very surreal when the rest of the world was fighting for their life against the virus, and here I was trying to make sure my cervix and I were in tip-top condition, or at least a condition that would allow me to survive life a little longer. As I entered the outpatient department with my letter in my hand and tried not to cough, I noticed there was a lot of cordoned off areas. The receptionist looked up at me and smiled with a kind face. "On the cross, please," she pointed to a cross made out of tape stuck to the floor, which looked approximately 2 meters away from her. Of course I obliged and stood on the cross and looked up at her and smiled, as you would with anybody working in this scenario. The NHS workers deserve kindness. I had to yell my name, date of birth, GP surgery and telephone number across a 2 meter distance. She invited me to take a seat. I made sure I wasn't sitting near the other patient and her partner that had gone in with her. I texted my son to tell him there was another patient with somebody in with them. "Are you kidding? That's well out of order. Do you want me to come in?" he asked me, and I replied, "No, I will be fine." The conversation between me and the medical team saw me thinking that they were frustrated that patients were not coming into hospital as much as they should have been due to the fear of catching the virus. "Young girls with big treatments, they aren't coming back for their follow-up. Too scared," they explained to me. As soon as my biopsy was done, I was out of there. I could have done with support from Deb on this day, but not even a text arrived. I kept strong, but this did make me sad. I missed her. We were all missing our people. Doubtless she was missing me and the laughs we had. So find out what happens next. Make sure you get the book. All the links and everything are all around, so go and have a little click. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you later.